So we're here with Cliff back. I know that everyone has missed Story Time with Cliff.
That's what we're calling it, apparently.
Story Time with Cliff. Cliff's tales from his youth. Randomly, he'll tell me some randomly he'll tell me some story about his childhood, and I'll say, "Whew, that's weird. Let's do a video about that."
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of them, for some reason, come from like growing up at Cedar Forest Christian School.
Yeah, because that was a weird experience for you.
Well, it was different. It was a different school, and I liked it. I'm appreciative that I grew up there. But there's some funny stories that came out of it. I think the last one we hit was the one with the pounding on the head, the fight that I got in high school.
Your fist fight.
Yeah. So ever since then, well, even before that, I'll tell you about a story and you'll write it down. You're like, oh, that needs to go on Story Time with Cliff.
That's another episode of Story Time with Cliff.
Story Time with Cliff.
So I have a whole huge list of ones that we need to go through. But
so 2020, we're trying to go through that list, I guess.
We're plowing through Story Time with Cliff. So one of the stories you told recently was the time you became a robot.
Okay. Yeah.
So set the stage. How old were you, or what grade around about?
I think I was in first grade, I believe. I was in first grade.
So
it's my first year at Cedar Forest, because I was
way to make an impression.
I was homeschooled for kindergarten.
Yeah.
And then I went to Cedar Forest for my first year. It was probably, I don't know, I'm thinking there was like maybe between 20 and 30 students, maybe not even that many.
Yeah.
In first grade.
So,
And to set the stage further, in the classroom there was a chalkboard. This is going to be good for future reference. There was a chalkboard that is freestanding.
Yeah. In
that classroom. So it's like behind, you can go behind this wall that has the chalkboard on it at the front of the classroom, and there's coat hangers and cubbies, gotcha, for your backpack and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you could walk behind the chalkboard.
Gotcha.
So weird things happen behind the chalkboard.
So this is only one of a couple of things that happen.
Yeah, some of the stories go on the same thing. There's probably going to be some classmates that might remember this. This is going back pretty far.
So who are some classmates who might remember this, and we'll tag them in the video. Well,
the only classmate that I think would remember this one is probably Debbie Culler.
Okay.
And Debbie might be some other people.
Debbie is a frequent cast member in Storytime with
I had a crush on Debbie when I was little, and
the truth
comes across. It comes across in the videos. So yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the evolution of Cliff the robot.
Okay, so well, this was back in the days of the VCR. You remember the VCR tapes? And they had, and if you remember the VCR tapes, and they had labels in the box.
Oh yeah, so you could like put fresh labels when you record.
Put the title on it and stuff.
Right.
But a lot of them in the box also, they had these little stickers, these little letter and number stickers.
Yeah.
And things. And I don't know how deep to go into this. Probably shouldn't go very deep at all.
You're in it. You're in it now.
I'm in it.
You gotta go all the way.
All right. So
go.
I guess I was like kind of an inventive kid. I like playing with building things out of cardboard. One time I made maybe that's another story, I don't know. I made a Honey I Shrunk the Kids device, and you'd point it at somebody and it'd shrink them down to a piece of paper and it'd come out. That would be another story. But I liked little weird geeky things, I was a little nerd kid. So I had a Radio Shack watch that would tell you the time. You'd hit the button and it would be like, the time is 5:47, and it'd be like, it would tell you the time. I had one of those calculator watches. At one point I started like collecting all these different things, and I had like 3 or 4 watches, and I would wear them on my arm. That was just something I did. So the robot thing here that you're talking about is my dad had those VCR tapes, that he would record stuff on, and in one of the boxes, the little numbers and letters where you could like peel them off and spell out your title. I took those little letters out, and I stuck them to myself as if I had some kind of robot buttons on my
like
body.
to your clothes?
Well, maybe on my clothes, but probably on my skin too, in different places. So here's what I remember, and this is a long time ago, so I may get some details wrong, but what I remember is one morning sticking some of these letters on my chest, and
Like on your bare skin?
On my bare skin, on my chest. And I remember being in first grade and going behind the chalkboard. And I don't remember the series of events leading up to this or what. I don't remember, maybe it was on my chest, maybe it was on my back or my neck. It was, I'm pretty sure, I think it was on my skin though. And I remember going behind the chalkboard and lifting my shirt up and showing these robot buttons to Debbie Culler and telling her I was a robot.
Smooth.
Yeah.
So smooth.
Yep. So is there anything else to tell with that one?
Well, did the buttons do anything? Like if you mashed on the buttons, did you perform functions?
I don't think I did.
What was Debbie's reaction? Did she back away slowly, or was
Gosh,
she
I don't know. She probably thought I was weird. There's
That may have been why it never developed into anything more than a crush.
There's the thing with saying homeschoolers aren't as sociable or whatever, and this is my first year in first grade, so
right.
maybe
Now.
I didn't do so well. Maybe I wasn't the best example.
Don't blame homeschooling on your weirdo tendencies.
Yeah. So that's my robot story.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool though. All
Yep.
right.
Yep. So if you need to be a robot, take your little VCR tape. Go
So-
find the VCR tape. Take the
So
stickers out.
now, from what I remember about this story, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna fill it in because this is what I thought was funny, was you're behind this chalkboard, fully clothed, like with Debbie Culler behind the chalkboard, and you're like, "Come over here, I want to show you something." And I think I remember you saying something like, "Did you know I was a robot?" And then you like lifted your shirt to reveal your robot components. That's what was.
There may have been more to it than that, and I don't know. I mean, I'm a first grader. I mean, I'm a kid. I mean, I'm a little kid.
Oh, well, that's precious.
So I don't
That's
know.
really cute.
I don't know if there was something that led up to it that. I don't know what caused me to do that, but it's something that sticks out in my mind that I remember fairly well. I'm pretty sure I did it. So
Was this something that you did in the future, or was this just a one-time thing?
I think it was a one-off.
One-off.
I don't remember doing that. I don't remember doing that multiple times or like in high school or anything like that. I don't think it stuck with me.
You ran out of stickers at some point. I'm sure.
The watch thing, though, I think I probably did that a number of times. I probably wore a number of watches several times. I had the calculator watch, and I had the talking watch, the talking Radio Shack watch. I think I may have had that in like second or third grade. At some point, I got that, and I would just, I think it was for people that had seeing problems or something. It was like it was. It was vocal, but I thought it was cool. It was like, the time is 5:45, and I would push it. I'd be like, what time is it? I'd be like, the time is 5:45. I think it's from my little watch,
Well, I remember watches, like multiple watches on an arm being in
as
style.
a stylist. Yeah, that's not why I did it. I didn't wear them because it was stylish. No.
Well, thank you for this. Thank you for regaling us with another story time with Cliff.
This is the second installment, and maybe we'll have more.
Yeah.
You have a list.
I do have a list, so we'll make our way through them.
We'll look at it.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.